Let me just get my cup of tea, stick it in front of my tripod. Chair legs are on. Great. Oh, no. Anyway, welcome back to the George Benson Football Channel. Welcome to my Chelsea versus Leicester preview. Got some good news for you all. I got a ticket for the game, which does mean there will be a match vlog. However, it also means that it might be uploaded a little bit later than if I were to do a 6 Things We Learned straight after the game, back in my office, watching it in my office, and uploading it straight away. So expect my post-match Chelsea content to be 3 different videos: match vlog, 6 Things We Learned, and Chelsea Fans React. Tomorrow is a big one. It is Frank Lampard's first game as Chelsea manager at Stamford Bridge, which means that being in the stadium, it's going to be a monumental occasion, one would say. The atmosphere is going to be great, everyone's going to be back supporting the team, and it's going to feel like we get our Chelsea back in our home ground, which I'm very excited for, as I am this cup of tea. But as with the majority of my pre-match previews this season, and throughout pre-season, you can kind of see a theme. We talk about 4 things before the game, 6 things after the game. It's pretty self-explanatory. Point number 1 today that I really want to see from this game against Leicester is the atmosphere. I spoke about it, the first thing I said in this video. I talked about it briefly during my message to racist football fans video, which I hate to bring it back to Chelsea. We can all get behind Tammy Abraham, and I'm expecting the 9th minute round of applause for Tammy to be in full flow tomorrow. I think it's something that has circulated social media, and it's a great thing, not just for the whole racist comments to back Tammy in that way, but also to show our support for our number 9, and that he missed 1 penalty. It doesn't mean the entire fan base are against him for the future of his career at Chelsea Football Club. So number 9, Tammy Abraham during the 9th minute tomorrow, and obviously Frank Lampard's first game in charge at Stamford Bridge. Seeing him come out of the tunnel, I'm going to make sure I'm in at least 15-20 minutes before tomorrow. I often get to my seat about 2 minutes after the game's kicked off because I'm too busy chatting to someone in the concourse having a pint normally. But tomorrow's going to be a very, very tough game. Leicester are not the easiest opposition in the world. Under Brendan Rodgers last season, when he took over from Claude Puel, he started to play a bit more of an attractive brand of football. They've signed Yuri Tielemans on a permanent transfer. Jamie Vardy, always a nightmare to defend against for Chelsea, and he always seems to have a very good game against us. And I read somewhere that yet again, during pre-season, he was clocking up some of his best ever stats in terms of his speed, his pace and his fitness. So he's in for another very good season for Leicester. They started last week with a 0-0 draw at home to Wolves, which if you look at Wolves' record last season against the bigger clubs, a draw against Wolves isn't the worst result in the world. So Leicester are going to be coming into this game with confidence. They've had a good transfer window and they do play some good football. The kind of football which could be a bit of an issue for Chelsea. So the second thing that I really want to see tomorrow, we've mentioned Jamie Vardy as an attacking threat for Leicester. They've got Ayoze Perez on their books as well now. They've also got some very good attacking wingers, some quick players, and players that could cause Chelsea's fullback some issues. So what I really want to see tomorrow, probably more so than anything, obviously if it's a drab 0-0, I'm not going to be satisfied and I'm not going to be able to say, no, you know what, it's been a good game because we drew 0-0. I just want to see a clean sheet. It's something that we've not seen yet at all. 2-2 against Liverpool, we can argue that, that's fine. It's in a cup final, it's not a Premier League fixture. The 4 goals that we conceded against Manchester United, if we look back to that game last week, I've overdone it on this channel how much I've spoken about it, but bringing it back to what we saw in the Premier League and what we want to see in the Premier League tomorrow moving forward from Chelsea, individual errors were what lost us the game last week. We matched Manchester United, they were clinical, we were sloppy. Tomorrow against Leicester at home, we're not going to be able to afford to be sloppy at the back again because they will be clinical going forward. You don't give Jamie Vardy a sniff in the box due to a defensive error from our part. It's something we cannot afford to do, and tomorrow I want to see the back line as solid as they were against Liverpool. We're playing against one of the best teams in the world when we play against Liverpool. Those front 3 in that second half, Firmino, Salah and Mane, are 3 menaces. They're 3 Dennis the Menaces, we could say, going forward for Liverpool. Leicester are decent, but they're not up to that standard. So a step up is needed again from the defenders, and let's see tomorrow if we can get ourselves that elusive clean sheet. Christian Pulisic, his home debut at Stamford Bridge. I feel as though there's been so many different big moments for Pulisic. We see him in his first Chelsea final, his first Chelsea Premier League game when he came off the bench against United. Kind of an anticlimax really, because the game was already lost by the time Pulisic was introduced. And obviously we had his pre-season debut as well, where everyone else got excited. But this is attempt number 4 of a Pulisic debut, and it's the home debut at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. I fully expect Christian Pulisic to get his first start for Chelsea in the Premier League. He was brilliant against Liverpool. I think he was one of the standout performers. He was absolutely brilliant against Liverpool. I think he was one of the standout performers, and I definitely expect him to start. Whether he starts on the left, in the middle, or on the right is yet to be decided, and I'm about to get into my starting 11 in just a moment. But Pulisic tomorrow, he's got to start. Obviously, the atmosphere is going to be huge for Frank's first game, the first game back this season at Stamford Bridge. The optimism is still there despite 2 early defeats, and I really want Christian Pulisic to start tomorrow. I literally just ripped my jeans. 2 messages. So point number 4, and I'd love to see us go back to the 4-2-3-1 for Leicester tomorrow. The 4-3-3 worked very well against Liverpool, and I've seen from a lot of people since that Super Cup game, everybody saying we need to scrap the 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. I want to see the 4-2-3-1 tomorrow because I want to see Kante starting in the Premier League alongside Jorginho. Jorginho had a great game against Liverpool. Kante was absolutely world class, different gravy against Liverpool, and I want to see those two playing together in the Premier League with Pulisic going forward, Ross Barkley and Mason Mount all in the same team. I don't know who's going to start up front. I strongly expect Frank to give Tammy Abraham the benefit of the doubt and start him in this game. So from what I've just said there, with Kante and Jorginho alongside one another in the pivot, it's come every video, hasn't it really? With Mason Mount on the left-hand side of the trio behind the striker, Ross Barkley in the middle and Christian Pulisic on the right, with Tammy Abraham up front. This team still excites me no end. I think there's obviously a debate about Pedro. He played 120 minutes of football against Liverpool in midweek, so I think with Mason Mount coming off the bench, those fresher legs are going to be what Frank picks to give Mason his home Stamford Bridge debut as well. There's so many big debuts tomorrow, home debuts with the home crowd at Chelsea that everyone can get excited about. Tammy Abraham in the Premier League. We've wanted to see it as our leading striker for so long. Mason Mount as well. He's been exciting. That penalty was top class against Liverpool. Ross Barkley as well. He wasn't the best against Man United. He's been so good in pre-season and he's earned the right to start for Chelsea in this game, I think, against Leicester. And then the Captain America, the new boy, Christian Pulisic, starting on the right. Moving us into the defenders. We've built the team slightly differently today. Kepa in goal. It's a no-brainer. I've already said I want a clean sheet. Kepa's our goalkeeper, potentially our future captain as well. I'm just going to leave those little things in there so that we can argue amongst ourselves. The right back position, Azpilicueta. Reece James is not back yet. However, there is talk that Rudiger may well be back for Chelsea this weekend. I don't expect Rudiger to start because he's not had any minutes of football. So I fully expect Kurt Zouma and Andreas Christensen to continue their centre-back partnership in the middle. They weren't great together against Man United. I think we can all agree on that and move on from it. They were very good against Liverpool, and they're 2 players who I really want to succeed at Chelsea. Speaking a bit fast for a Saturday morning. 2 players I really want to see succeed at Chelsea, and I expect them to start tomorrow with Emerson at left back. We're beginning to see a bit of continuity amongst this Frank Lampard Chelsea team. Maybe we see the 4-3-3 again. I'm unsure. I don't think it's going to happen. We could see Tammy up front with a 3-man midfield with Ross Barkley, Kante and Jorginho, or potentially Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic with Mason on the left, Pulisic on the right and Tammy up front. It could work. I just do think we're going to go back to a 4-2-3-1 with the pivot. I just love it. That is my starting 11. Let me know yours and your reasons why in the comments down below. I'll try to get back and respond to as many comments as I can on this video before the game tomorrow. My prediction, if you haven't seen today's earlier video, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, first thing when you wake up, make yourself one of these bad boys a cup of tea, get yourself a fried egg, stick it on a piece of toast, maybe smother it in Marmite if you're anything like me. Watch George Benson's Premier League predictions video and maybe send in your own. It's a bit late by the time you watch this one because half the Premier League fixtures are already done. Within that video, I said Chelsea to beat Leicester. Tammy Abraham's going to score in the 11th minute of the match. He's going to be riled up in a good way after his 9th minute standing ovation. He's going to win the ball back from Harry Maguire's replacement and he's going to slot it through the legs of Kasper Schmeichel in the Leicester goal. And then I think we'll score a penalty. I think Jorginho will take the spot kick. Chelsea to win 2-1, Jamie Vardy to get his typical goal against Chelsea. 3 points for Frank Lampard in his first game. Job done. If only it was as easy as that. So yeah, this has been 4 things that I want to see from Chelsea against Leicester. Obviously, it's all based around the players that start. The clean sheet is the big one. Pulisic's debut is another big one. And then that pivot of Kante and Jorginho, which I'm so excited to see play again, especially after both of their performances in the Super Cup against Liverpool. Thank you guys for watching this video. As I said at the start, I'll be going to the match tomorrow. So expect a match vlog, Chelsea fans react, and 6 things we learned within 48 hours of the full-time whistle. That is what my promise is to you. I will catch you all in the next video tomorrow. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.
So then, Frank Lampard, you got Leicester City at home on Sunday afternoon. What do you think's going to happen? Now, obviously, it's going to be a tough game. Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. Obviously, on Wednesday night, Tammy missed a penalty. I'm going to start him tomorrow against Leicester, and I think, obviously, with the fans behind us, obviously, I'm back, so that's going to be good. Yeah, I think we're going to win 2-1.